this is the front panel. Spring is in full swing here by the time we get back from Paris. It feels like the perfect moment to dive into a bit of spring gardening. Our lemon tree is absolutely thriving in its new pot, happier than ever, with tiny lemons starting to grow all over. I can't even tell you how much joy it brings to my heart. Welcome and welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Moran. I'm a maker and homebody from Israel, finding ways to keep grounded in these challenging times. There is something so comforting about coming home, even after such a lovely trip. We both wished we had a bit more time in Paris, but I'm so glad we took the break we could in this season of our life. It was just what we both needed. I wish I could just sit here and keep working on my new granny stripe t-shirt. It's such a joy to make, but there's a lot on my to-do list today, so I will have to set it aside for now and maybe come back to it later. There is something comforting about returning to everyday simple routines. Sourdough baking takes time, and that's the beauty of it. The boys are happy with the new midweek baking, which helps ease me back into homemaking, starting my days early in those bread baker's hours, keeping me grounded and grateful. Today I'm making a fresh batch of beef bone broth, getting ready for the Passover cooking. I usually start by roasting the bones at 240 degrees Celsius before popping them into the pot with everything else. This is how it looks after I finish joining the shoulder stitches. So this is the back panel and this is the front panel, and now all shoulder stitches are joined with a slip stitch, front slip stitch. I got some work done in the studio and now I'm heading back to the kitchen. All those leafy greens looked like way too much at first, like I overdid it, but I actually plan to take them out after a short cook and turn them into veggie bouillons. Kipodi. Kipod. In Hebrew, hedgehog is kipod. It's Friday morning and we are just about to head out to the garden shop. We've got lots of spring gardening plans for the weekend, but before that I just finished joining the side stitches of the front and back panels of this t-shirt. I'm trying to pick a color for the neck hem now. When we get back from the garden shop, my sourdough starter is shouting, "I am ready!" We dive into making Friday night dinner, but first I take the greens out of the beef bone broth and start on the veggie bouillons. And this is already Friday dinner preparations. This is going to be ratatouille. Eyal is making pat kapau. He's getting ready with everything, with rice. And I'm going to make the ratatouille now. This is going to be a Swiss chard, kind of frittata. Everybody's already here, the food is almost ready, and we are just about to sit down and enjoy our family Friday dinner. I think you already know how much I love the 48-hour sourdough, so this will be baked early Sunday morning. And yeah, in case you're wondering, the beef bone broth will be in the oven on very low heat for 48 hours, so it will be ready tomorrow afternoon. It's a Saturday morning of gardening, one of our favorite activities, and this is a perfect season. We are trying to get a lot done before the sun gets too strong, trying to decide where each plant should go. A new planting container just arrived that Eyal prepared with a lovely guy who helps him with this. And now we are figuring out the perfect spot for each plant. The sun starts to heat up and we both need another cup of coffee, so we head inside until it gets a little calmer. We plan to complete the gardening later this afternoon. We are done with the spring gardening for today and just about to head out for a long afternoon evening walk to enjoy the last rays of the day. But first, I'm tidying up my crochet project so it's not scattered everywhere. The beef bone broth is now ready and will cool down. When I get back, I'll pop it into the freezer. It's been a crazy, busy homemaking weekend, but a very fulfilling one. It's a very early Sunday morning and I have a busy day ahead, but unfortunately I had a very bad night of sleep. I'm awake from about 3 a.m. and I'm feeling so tired this morning. And as I take the dough out of the fridge, I'm asking myself, how will I manage my day after such a rough night? I'm going to bake just half of my sourdough today to make a tiny loaf. I think it will be better to bake the other half tomorrow. Meanwhile, Eyal is helping me here getting everything ready for a meatball stew that I plan to make today for lunch. I'm starting to cook the sauce for the meatballs for today's lunch, but first I just need to make sure I have enough coffee to support me this morning. I'm starting with heating some ghee and then adding the leek. And now I'm adding spices, a little bit of turmeric and cumin and salt. And as I cook, I'm starting to feel better, picking up, and it's good news because we have a special event later this afternoon. As the spices heat up, I add about a teaspoon of wild garlic paste that I made a couple of weeks ago. And the leek got a little bit overcooked as I'm trying to cook and take footage of myself cooking, but it's okay. I think I can manage, so let's continue.
Deixa que o amor invade a porta da tua casa. Deixa que o carinho seja o beijo de uma flor.
As many of you mentioned in the comments, it's clear I'm finding so much joy in the simplest everyday homemaking routines. This season of spring homemaking keeps me grounded and fills me with deep gratitude.
Menino que eu sei que o amor é cura, amolece a dor ingratidão.
As the sauce cooks, low and slow, I'm going to try something I've been wanting to make for a while. I cleaned up this little glass cosmetic bottle earlier, and I think it's dry and ready to be reused.
Deixa que o amor invade a porta da tua.
It's been a while that I want to try and make like a body, face, hand oil. And I'm trying this mixture. I start with jojoba oil, so it's mainly jojoba oil and a little bit of castor oil on top of it. I think I poured just a little bit too much of the castor oil. And then I'm adding a little bit of rosehip oil, ending up with a few drops of frankincense oil. I hope I said it correctly, frankincense oil.
Desde pequenino que eu sei que o amor perdura, basta ter carinho e compreensão. Deixa que o amor invade a porta da tua casa. Deixa que o carinho seja o beijo de uma flor. Deixa que o amor.
You guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's not a recommendation or a recipe, and I'm not sure if it's healthy, but I love it. It feels good, and I know I'm going to use it a lot. And I also know there are other few people here that will love to use this oil.
Desde pequenino que eu sei que o amor perdura, basta ter carinho e compreensão. Basta ter carinho e compreensão. Basta ter carinho e compreensão.
These beautiful pot holders were a gift from a friend here on the channel who came to visit in Israel and so kindly dropped them into our mailbox. I love them so much. We are just about to leave for a very special event. I took some sauce from the meatball stew and made shakshuka for Eyal and for myself. Uri is having meatballs and sourdough, and we are heading out.
שלום לכולם, התכנסנו פה.
We are at the Tel Aviv University. Uri is presenting his research work that he's been working on for the last 2 years as part of a very special program here in the university. Today he is receiving a certificate and will be also leading the graduation ceremony.
אני לא יודעת מה לעשות עם העבודות האלה, זה לא משהו
אני אורי מלרון,
ואני אביגיל תמיד.
ואנחנו מתוכנית אידאה. העקרוניים העדכניים של התוכנית.